The Grand Theft Auto 6 release date and year was actually in front of us the whole time. We're going to be diving into all that today in this video, including comparison screenshots that Rockstar Games actually took from Red Dead Redemption 2 and put in the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer, not to mention the new screenshots. There's so much stuff that I have not noticed yet that Rockstar Games have truly done, and it looks like there's a lot more secrets than answers in the brand new Grand Theft Auto 6 Trailer 2 and Trailer 1 that was released back in December of 2023, and then our Trailer 2 was released not too long ago when Rockstar Games actually gave us tons of screenshots. Well, it actually looks like Rockstar Games is going to be comparing things to Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm actually kind of glad that they did this because there's instances where Arthur Morgan will be holding Mary and actually giving her a hug and talking to her, and that same instance, Jason and Lucia will be doing the same thing. Like I said, we're going to be diving into all that today in this video, and possibly Cuba can actually be an island we can explore. So I know this is crazy, but fans believe that the release date year for Grand Theft Auto 6 was actually in front of the GTA 5 missions this whole time. And in the mission, Did Somebody Say Yoga, back in Grand Theft Auto 5, Jimmy can be seen with his drug dealer that works at Burger Shot, or the burger joints in Los Santos. And Jimmy actually goes and meets with them to get an illegal drink and drug to give to Michael to make sure he, is high and doesn't remember a thing. Well, pretty much what Jimmy does is pretty much just spikes Michael and takes Michael's money and his vehicle and tells the family to move out, leaving Michael alone within half of the game. Well, this is kind of the instance where everybody thinks that 26 is going to be a big number for Grand Theft Auto 6 because Jimmy actually has kind of a polo shirt with the 26 number on it. And I don't remember where fans probably get the release date for Grand Theft Auto 6, but I can kind of see fans, being excluded and talking about it. I mean, 26 right there, Jimmy had the release date for Grand Theft Auto 6 all along. So it really does show you that when you actually play older titles like Grand Theft Auto 6, maybe look for certain numbers because that could give us a clue of when Rockstar Games might be thinking about their next title or even trying to plan it. So it does make sense, and it makes you want to keep looking at other stuff in Grand Theft Auto 5 that could reveal a whole bunch of news about Grand Theft Auto 6. That's a cool image right there. Just thought I would show you guys in a little bit of backstory about Did Somebody Say Yoga mission if you have forgotten or you haven't played Grand Theft Auto 5 at all. So there's more questions than answers, but there's also a lot of cool secret Easter eggs that Rockstar Games have thrown in other Grand Theft Auto games to basically show for GTA 6. And this is actually one thing that I want to look into more. So obviously Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have tons of islands to explore, tons of buildings, tons of cities, tons of maps, and a whole lot more with Jason and Lucia Caminos. Well, that's something that we are probably going to have to look at because imagine if Grand Theft Auto 7 could be a hint on one of the other main character NPCs t-shirts or around billboards like sometimes they did in GTA 3, See You in Vice City, which obviously teased Tommy Vercetti in Vice City. So Rockstar Games have done this in the past, and I feel like they're going to be doing something a little bit more with this, but honestly, in my opinion, is it really a clue? Did it really confirm the release date? Not technically, because Rockstar Games already had planned for it to come out in fall 2025, not 2026. They just delayed it till May 26th of 2026. So it also doesn't make sense, but it could be a cool hint regardless, but fans believe that was where the release date came from. On my opinion, I highly doubt it. I mean, Rockstar Games kind of talked about being fall 2025, and then eventually maybe they got Jimmy's logo t-shirt, maybe decided to extend it, but I think that was just their whole team trying to make more room for other games and titles that they're going to be working on in the future, and eventually finishing off GTA 6. As we already know, the game is already done. It just needs a few spikes to make it look even better, with Rage 9, not to mention the graphics card to make the game look and run better. So I want to dive into these comparisons, but you guys can see Jason in Grand Theft Auto 6 kind of looks different than Arthur though. But other than that, Rockstar Games did get their physics and kind of looks for Jason, but it actually came from Arthur Morgan and Red Dead Redemption 2. So that is pretty cool. Like Jason has like the body hair on his chest, the little straight line going down. the beard, the hat. Rockstar Games also added that for Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2. So if they were doing comparisons and changing the character, this could actually be Arthur in some kind of way. But I don't think Jason Duvall is played by Arthur Morgan's voice actor, Roger Clark. But other than less, this is kind of where they got like the style of Jason. They took it from Red Dead Redemption 2, which I think it's pretty cool for Rockstar Games to go back to older titles and make it into the next version of Grand Theft Auto 6. That's a pretty cool. Here are some other instances where they did a comparison as well. Arthur Morgan kind of staring at the sun. He has his beard. He has his usual hat that he always wears. His good size hair is about medium size. Jason has his own personal hat that we see that he never takes off in game, which is kind of like Arthur. Arthur loves his gambling hat. That's what they call it in game. And Jason loves his red cap hat too. So this kind of does beg the question that they did this on purpose because Arthur loves his hat more than anything, and so does Jason. So that's another cool detail right there. Just thought I would show you guys that. That looks absolutely amazing. This is by far my favorite one. Rockstar Games actually added iguanas in the island of Guarma, which we know that's back in Red Dead Redemption 2 in Chapter 5 when the gang kind of splits up after the robbery that failed when Hosea died. Well, this is actually some cool instances where Arthur Morgan can actually visit Guarma again, or John Marston, even to take pictures of animals such as iguanas or whatever these creatures are. But they love on their land. I think they're salamanders or iguanas. Maybe you guys can let me know. I think they're iguanas. They look more like it in style. You guys can see this one standing at the Guarma beach, just sitting at the way, getting a picture, getting a view of the sun. And Rockstar Games actually did the same thing in Grand Theft Auto 6, where they had the same iguana kind of in the streets of state of Leonida. That can be seen in the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer too. So this is pretty cool that Rockstar Games are taking instances and putting them back in older titles, from older titles to new titles. Like you guys can see, the updated iguana in the image of Grand Theft Auto 6 looks a lot more updated. There's more detail. He's more green. He has spikes. You can see some of the skin bubbles that the iguana has, more like Red Dead Redemption 2's picture where it's kind of faded. But other than that, that's pretty cool. So another instance where Rockstar Games does take Grand Theft Auto 6 into Red Dead Redemption 2. This is by far one of my favorite ones. This is actually the island of Guarma versus the Grand Theft Auto 6 island. And you guys can see there's more detail in the Grand Theft Auto 6. The sky is a beautiful color. It's nice and blue with clouds in it. You have beautiful cabins. You have the water, which is pure clear, and palm trees. And as you go back to Red Dead Redemption 2, you can see the water is clear, but not as clear in the Grand Theft Auto 6 image. So it definitely tells you that GTA 6 is going to be the bigger game. And you have a dock. You have houses and bungalows. You have pilot islands, you have palm trees as well, but it's more vague. Like I said, there's less color in it than the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. So other than that, Rockstar Games turned Red Dead Redemption 2 Guarma into a beautiful island and upgraded the graphics as well. So I'm not gonna lie, it makes me forget about Red Dead Redemption 2, and I loved Red Dead Redemption 2. I played it, I think I got maybe 400 hours or 1,000 hours on that game due to playing online or just roaming around as Arthur Morgan, replaying missions. I at least played the missions 50 times. I beat the story 50 times. That's how much I love the game. Right now I'm working on playing the first God of War, and those graphics are even cool as well. So that's currently what game I'm actually trying to beat right now, because believe it or not, I did not play the first God of War at all, and their graphics are more beautiful. And I played the second one or third one, which was the God of War Ragnarok. And Kratos is a badass, guys, I have to tell you. But other than that, that's the current game I'm playing right now. But other than that, it really does beg the question, did Rockstar do these on purpose? Did they want us to think that Arthur Morgan was going to be Jason? Did they have the same style? Did Arthur... I wouldn't make sense, because Arthur would have been dead around the time of 2025 as of now. So it wouldn't make sense, but it does kind of look cool that Jason never takes off his hat. Arthur never takes off his hat. Arthur has a pose with his shirt off with the chest hair, and so does Jason. So the comparisons are endless, and Rockstar Games are probably going to do a lot more of this, hopefully when trailer 3 comes out, or maybe even the game will have certain Easter eggs as well. Another thing I want to mention in this is Cuba coming to Grand Theft Auto 6 2. I know this is a lot to talk about in this video, but I wanted to add it all in today. Predictions about the game. Hey folks, it's been a while since we last heard anything from Rockstar about GTA 6. Obviously this was posted a while ago, and since we had any information about the game other than the leaks, so I wanted to share with some interesting things that I was told by someone who worked in the game. I won't be using names, obvious reasons, and I ask you to treat any information provided in this thread as a more speculation. I want to make it clear that I should have verified any of this information myself. I didn't have access to the game, but I guarantee that the person who gave me the information is a reliable source. Unfortunately, I'll have to trust what I'm saying, or just don't. Feel free to come back to this thread after the game is released. That's actually a good idea. And as the game is still under development, any information provided here might be inaccurate as things change between the development and phases of the final release. So here's the things you need to know. The state name is indeed Leonida, we knew that. The map is bigger than GTA 5, but not big as most people would expect, and that's around 30 to 50% bigger. But any more dense details that apparently Rockstar has plans to expand it over time. Besides I'm going too fast. Beside Miami, its surrounded areas, there will be 3 islands in the game. One of them being heavily inspired by the Bahamas, which is cool. The map won't make it into Orlando. Unfortunately, only Miami has surrounded areas and a few other remote locations. And the city in the west, apparently a parody of Fort Myers. There's a fort city inspired by Fort Knox where they stashed out the gold on it. There's a bike trail around the state of Leonida. So it looks like the island is going to have treasure on it, and that's going to be based off of the state or the Fort Knox, which is going to be pretty cool. GTA 6 will reportedly take us to Cuba. Back in Guarma, Mick Victor said, "We already know how GTA 6 is going to end." Spoilers, Bonnie and Clyde back in the 30s died in a blaze of gunfire. It's not 3 playable characters, it's 2 playable characters. It takes place with a time jump. It takes place in the Miami, Florida area. Then also part of Cuba, it's about the drug trade. It's about bank robbing. So most of these details we already knew. We knew the map was bigger than Grand Theft Auto 5. We knew that there was going to be drugs. We knew there was going to be a sad story with Bonnie and Clyde back in the 30s when they died by a gun show, by a gunfire. So there's a lot of details that we already knew. But the one thing we didn't know is I didn't even think about Guarma actually featuring Cuba. Rockstar Games should have done that in Red Dead Redemption 2, but there's a possibility that they might actually feature it in the state of Leonida and make Cuba, which would be cool. And what would Rockstar Games do with Cuba? Most likely it would be for a treasure hunt or some kind of Easter egg that you'll be able to fly or even boat there, like riding the boat and driving. You probably will be able to find a stack of treasure which would contain millions of dollars. Now we don't know that for sure, but if Cuba was an island, Rockstar Games would have probably showed it in their trailer, but maybe that's what trailer 3 is going to be all about, more about the Cuba Islands or the Bahamas. I mean, Rockstar Games showed a little bit about the Florida Keys and the main mountains and some of the hillside homes and the big city, but they really didn't show off the other islands. And a lot of fans speculate and believe that there are going to be treasure indeed on every single island that we're going to be able to explore, which makes me even more excited for this game and to dive into it more, because I know exactly what I'm going to be doing when I get into Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm definitely going to be trying to find the Vice sign to see if there's like a ladder case. I'm going to be running around driving some of the new vehicles, playing some of the new missions. I think I'm probably going to go on one of the tallest towers and search for the treasure in the island. So I know exactly what I want to do. That's hopefully what Rockstar Games' plan is. But Cuba could be a possibility that could be coming to the state of Leonida. Of course, Rockstar Games would have to change it up a little bit and place it kind of further away from the map. Cuba can't just be placed in Vice City. Otherwise, they can do something like they did in the past where we go through like an area where it's like a blue marker that just takes us right into the island. Who really knows what Rockstar Games is capable of? But other than that, that kind of wraps up my discussion today about all the stuff you need to know about GTA 6. Not to mention there's going to be a Cuba island, talking about the comparisons, and even possibly Jimmy being teased the release date. Let me know what you're thinking in those comments down below. Did Jimmy basically tease the Grand Theft Auto 6 release date? Did he not? the comparisons. What do you guys think about those and Rockstar Games taking them from Red Dead Redemption 2? And do you believe that there's going to be an island called Cuba? Let me know in those comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys down there. Like I said, guys, stay happy, healthy, and well, and I'll see you guys all later on the next video.